Time Warner Cable is pleased to be an underwriting sponsor for Carolina Week.
Coming up on the March 28th edition of Carolina Week, Women's Week is in full swing on campus. We'll show you the effort to take back the night.
Spring is in the air, but some folks don't get to enjoy the outdoors because of pollen.
In sports, the Carolina women are headed to the Final Four, and just being there isn't enough for this group of talented athletes.
Weathercaster Laura Pagano is here with your Carolina Week 4-day forecast.
All that and a look at some thrill seekers' delights. Carolina Week starts right now.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, this is Carolina Week.
Hello and welcome to the Wednesday edition of Carolina Week. I'm Kate Schoen.
And I'm Alex Villarreal. Let's get right into it. Deshawn Brown joins us with highlights from last night's women's basketball win, which propelled the Heels into their second straight Final Four.
That's absolutely right. You know, ladies, big-time games call for big-time performances, and Carolina definitely got a big-time performance from its big girl down low. The Tar Heels were led by a dominating effort from Erlana Larkins. She controlled the inside. Here she gets the basket and one. Larkins led a run at the top of the second half with 8 of the team's first 10 points. She finished with a career-high 29, but Larkins wasn't all offense. Here, she creates a turnover almost at midcourt, and Larkins also finished with 10 rebounds and was named the most outstanding player of the regional. Check that out. The Tar Heels will need more of the same from Larkins as they head to their second straight Final Four. And ladies, we'll have a lot more highlights coming up in sports.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Deshawn.
Well, in the midst of this celebration, the university is still reeling after the death of student Jason Ray, our very own Ramsey's mascot. Ray was struck by an SUV outside of his hotel in New Jersey, where he was set to perform with the men's basketball team in the NCAA tournament. He died Monday morning. A memorial service scheduled for tonight on the steps of Memorial Hall has been postponed so his parents can attend. The family will hold a viewing and visitation from 6 to 9 p.m. Friday at Concord First Assembly Church. The funeral is set for Saturday at 11 a.m.
Today, a pro-life student group is showing a controversial display in the lower quad. Members of Carolina Students for Life say they believe abortion is like genocide, and they use graphic photos of aborted fetuses to support their argument. Some students stopped to talk about the display with CSFL members, while others walked by unfazed. But those who did look seemed to have trouble looking away. CSFL President Ashley Tyndall says she wants the display to spark conversation about abortion, regardless of which side you're on.
Just basically talk about it. Abortion is so far underground, you just talk about it and let your opinions be known.
The display will remain in the quad throughout the day.
UNC students frequently lend their voices to important causes. As the sun went down on Tuesday night, those voices rose to show support for sexual assault victims. About 100 students took part in the annual Take Back the Night rally. It started on the steps of Wilson Library with a speech from Ruth Smith, who was raped as a UNC undergrad in 1991. Students then went on a candlelit march through the campus to Franklin Street in hopes of increasing awareness of sexual violence. Event organizer Emily Dunn says the night is always a great success.
It's really a big show. It's to get the word out and get people involved in what's going on and maybe create a few more Haven allies to help out survivors.
Other Women's Week events include a women's health fair on Thursday from 11 to 2 in the Union, a lecture by the author of Female Chauvinist Pigs, Ariel Levy, on Thursday at 7 p.m. in Chapman, and on Friday, a panel discussion on ways for you to mentor other women. That's at 3 in Carroll Hall. On Tuesday, Take Back the Night organizer Emily Dunn received a university award for the advancement of women. The award came for her work with the Take Back the Night event, as well as Project Dinah, which educates men and women about sexual assault and prevention.
The names of Holocaust victims are echoing through the pit as part of Holocaust Remembrance Week. The reading of names began Tuesday at noon and continued throughout the night. Volunteers took 5-minute shifts and called out thousands of names, still only a small portion of the more than 6 million who died. People have been reading the names at UNC for 10 years. This butterfly sculpture rested in the pit to symbolize other recent genocides, including the conflict in Darfur. Organizer Stephanie Barish says it can be too easy to forget the horror of the Holocaust.
I feel like a lot of, Americans who aren't from Europe at all, it's very easy for them to forget. It's World War II. It's just history to them.
The reading ended at noon today. Holocaust Remembrance Week goes until Friday, and for more information about the rest of this week's events, go to carolinaweek.org.
A former president of Brazil wants to teach students a different perspective about Latin America. During a lecture at the Stone Center, Fernando Cardoso touched on industrialization and globalization. He says governments of developing nations must be involved with the economy for those countries to compete in the world marketplace. He also says there are ways for the United States to improve relations with its neighbors to the south.
The matter is that the flow of information is still very low. We have to continue to have more news, more information, and to ask Americans to come to Latin America and vice versa to know better each other.
Cardoso was president of Brazil from 1995 until 2003.
Well, it's definitely a great time to be outside with temperatures in the 80s and lots of sunshine.
But the warm weather also brings lots of pollen. Coming up, some people are affected so badly they hate to see spring coming, and this year the problem started earlier than usual.
It's springtime in the forest of the black-tailed deer. The young male is feeling playful. It's time for tag. The female flicks her ears. Her way of saying, "Catch me if you can."
Check it out, man.
What is that?
It looks like someone's belly. Eh, probably lost it walking on the beach.
Man, just leave it. Let's go.
If you've taken a walk through campus recently, you might have noticed a new monument near Memorial Hall. It's called the Memorial to Carolina Alumni who made the ultimate sacrifice for the United States of America. It honors those who died in combat. The new monument features a sitting wall, gathering area with stone benches, and a pathway with excerpts of letters from soldiers or soldiers' families. A landscape architect from Seattle designed the monument, and funding came from UNC alumni and other outside sources.
A new study shows some cities do a lousy job of monitoring the water treatment plants that send tap water into our homes. The worst grade, F-, goes to Phoenix, Arizona. The study examined water plants, like this one, for arsenic and lead levels. The Orange Water and Sewer Authority says old pipes often cause lead contamination. But not everyone is ready to start stocking up on bottled water. Chapel Hill resident Catherine Otten says she started drinking tap water as a child to reduce cavities.
My parents encouraged me to drink tap water when I was growing up because of the fluoride additives that they had. And that was a big deal when we were younger, because some cities didn't have it, and the kids had to get extra treatments.
Several North Carolina cities, including Charlotte, Raleigh, and Greensboro, also made below average or failing grades. The grades were partially based on the number of water systems violations issued by the Environmental Protection Agency. Well, for some, spring fever means falling in love. For others, it means runny noses and itchy eyes, common symptoms of hay fever. Experts say spring allergies affect 36 million people in the U.S. Health reporter Kelly Chi has more.
Diane Campbell of Chapel Hill says she suffered from allergies since she was a child.
Turns out I'm allergic to just about everything outside. North Carolina is a very difficult place to be when you are allergic to different type pollens.
Chapel Hill physician Ronald Gerby says he's seeing more allergy patients these days.
I think that we had a relatively warm winter until very recently.
The mild winter caused some trees to release pollen early. Now more people are complaining of itchy noses and watery eyes, the hallmarks of hay fever. These symptoms result from chemicals released when pollen binds to immune cells.
And when those two get together, they're just a bad combination, sort of like the perfect storm.
This time of year, most pollen comes from trees such as oak and maple. This pollen from an oak tree is very fine and can easily get into your nose. Gerby says over-the-counter medicines can provide relief, but to find the cause of your allergy, you may need to see a specialist. Campbell says with regular treatment, she hopes to one day be able to enjoy being outdoors. In Chapel Hill, I'm Kelly Chi, Carolina Week.
Experts say if you have symptoms, stay inside and use air conditioning. If you must be outdoors, though, be sure to change your clothes when you go back in.
We now welcome weathercaster Laura Pagano. Hi, Laura.
Hi, Laura. Well, it has been so gorgeous outside, but it's so warm it almost feels like summer, not spring. Is it going to keep up?
That is true, and we were talking about weather as well. I might have a cure for people that are affected by pollen for at least the next couple of days at least. We've had a very warm start to the week. These people know how to enjoy it by playing a little frisbee. However, will some of the wet stuff put a damper on our nice conditions? I'll let you know after the break.
Hey, Zachary. You looking good?
The odds of a child becoming a professional athlete are 1 in 16,000. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 166. The odds say it's time to listen. To learn the signs of autism, visit autismspeaks.org.
Passing gas in the presence of others is not only inappropriate,
That is so foul.
it can be deadly. Passing gas releases a fog of carbon monoxide
Grandpa,
and other poisonous fumes that can contribute to asthma and pneumonia.
you're killing us over here.
Kids shouldn't be exposed to secondhand smoke. Don't pass gas. Take it outside.
Hi, and welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm weather forecaster Laura Pagano. Well, I'm sure many of you have enjoyed the sunny conditions, especially with those warmer temperatures. But I'm sad to say that we do have big changes on the way. And in that, we are going to be seeing much stronger thunderstorms heading our way in the next couple of days. And with that comes a cooling down of the temperatures. So for those of you that are affected by the pollen, well, it's going to get a little bit better for the next couple of days at least. So let's look at the precipitation. This is the top story for today. We are seeing that we have plenty of precipitation towards the west of the Appalachians, and we do have some supercells popping up north of the Raleigh-Durham area. So let's take a closer look at that. And we do see we have supercells about 30 miles northeast of the Durham area, and these are going to be shifting downward, meaning that for those of you who are in the Raleigh-Durham area, even into Greensboro, you're going to be seeing thunderstorms heading your way in the next 12 to 24 hours. So make sure you have an umbrella. Even into the workday on Thursday, you're gonna need it. So let's zoom out and take a look at the surface map, and we do see that low pressure system is associated with the precipitation coming all the way into the Carolinas, and for your Thursday, this will be dropping down, bringing the cooler temperatures from Canada, meaning that temperatures are going to be about 25 degrees below what they have been in the last couple of days. But we do see the precipitation is going to be dying out for Thursday afternoon and into the evening. For your Friday, we're going to be seeing high pressure system dominating for the southeast, meaning that we are going to have predominantly sunny conditions. So for those of you who are looking forward toward the weekend, I think I have some good news there. So taking a look at Thursday, we are going to see an abundant amount of rain, especially into the morning time hours. So for those of you heading to work or maybe to school, you're definitely going to need an umbrella. And look at those temperatures. We are seeing 25 degrees below what we saw today. So make sure to bring a heavy coat because you're going to need it. But for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, look at those temperatures. We are going to be on the increase all the way into Sunday. Even for Sunday, I'm tempted to say we're going to see temperatures maybe hovering into the lower 80s. How about we head over to the mountains for the weekend? Well, it's going to be looking somewhat cloudy with precipitation into the area on Sunday, but temperatures are going to be hovering right around the 70-degree mark. And for those of you who are looking forward to going to the beach, we're going to be seeing sunny conditions and temperatures hovering around the lower 70s. So really anywhere you go besides the mountains, we are looking at a great weekend, but really watch out for those thunderstorms in the next 12 to 24 hours. Keep posted.
Well, I hope that the rain just comes and washes out all the pollen and then we get the good temperatures back. Thanks, Laura.
Well, we all know that the Heels were bounced from the NCAA men's tournament before the Final Four. So should the admissions department expect fewer applicants next fall? There have been cases when athletic success has created more and better applicants to universities. Last season, George Mason made a dramatic run to the Final Four, which included a win against the Tar Heels. We hate them for that. But thanks to that Cinderella story, applications to George Mason have gone up a whopping 24%. There was a similar but smaller effect at UNC the year before. The number of applications received for the 2006 school year was up by more than 1,000, and the percentage of applicants ranked at the top of their class was also higher. Maybe that's because our men's basketball team won the 2005 national title. Well, just when you thought the UNC-Duke rivalry was done for the year, there's one last game, and it's sure to be epic. The second annual Duke-Carolina Student Basketball Marathon is this weekend in UNC's Carmichael Auditorium. Last year's marathon was a huge success, raising $60,000 to benefit Hoop Dreams Basketball Academy. The charity's aim is to help children with life-threatening illnesses develop life skills through basketball. Event organizers have set this year's fundraising goal at $100,000. Co-director Laura Malone.
We're also having a lot of entertainment groups come out throughout the weekend. Some local bands are going to be there, a cappella groups from both universities, and it's going to be a great place to just be this weekend.
For more information about this year's marathon, check out our website at www.carolinaweek.org.
Well, for more on exciting Carolina sports action, we welcome back Deshawn Brown. Hi, Deshawn.
Hey, Kate. Hey, Alex. You know, coming up in sports, the women's basketball team blew some steam off the Purdue Boilermakers Tuesday night. We'll have the highlights coming up as the ladies prepare to head to the Final Four.
Where's the whole week? Where's the whole week? Hey, excuse me?
Excuse me, sir. Something wrong?
Yeah, there's something wrong. You want to get me some whole wheat? Oh, come on. Hey, hey, amigo. Hey, I asked you for whole wheat bread. This is not what I wanted. El Guido.
Sorry for the confusion.
You know, that's the problem with these people. If you want to serve Americans, you got to learn to speak the language. You know what I'm saying?
No, sir. I don't. Enjoy your lunch.
Imagine the power of one voice. Click freedomcenter.org to find yours.
Welcome to Carolina Week Sports. I'm Deshawn Brown. And forget the men. One team is carrying the basketball fortunes of the entire triangle on its shoulders. The Tar Heel women have advanced to their second consecutive Final Four. The Heels brought the heat against the Purdue Boilermakers in the regional final. The women faced off in Dallas Tuesday night, and boy, what a game it was. This spurt of turnovers is pretty indicative of how back and forth the first half was. These three happened in just 20 seconds. Just as the Heels got a comfortable lead, Ivory Latta limped off the court after getting banged up just before halftime. She was taken into the locker room. Her parents looking a little concerned in the stands, but don't worry, Mom and Dad. Latta was back out there after the Heels went on an 18-6 run to close the half. Orlena Larkins led the Heels in the second half, driving up the score. And the Boilermakers tried to make it interesting with about 7 minutes on the clock. They cut the lead to 4. But again, Larkins stepped up and just was not having it. The Heels win 84-72, set a school record for wins, and dashed Purdue's hopes for a trip to Cleveland for the Final Four. Larkin scored a career-high 29 points and 10 rebounds. Latta added an impressive 21 points. Today, Carolina Week spoke to Coach Sylvia Hatchell about this year's trip to the Final Four.
Getting to the Final Four now is like it used to be, I guess, 10 years ago, winning. You know, so when you win a regional now, it's like a national championship. But being back, you know, we feel like we have some unfinished business because last year we got beat in the Final Four. So we know we got our work cut out for us, but you know, we're just happy to be back in the Final Four, and we know our desire is to do better than we did last year.
The Heels are now preparing for a rematch with Tennessee in Cleveland. The battle will take place at 9 p.m. on Sunday on ESPN. The winner of that game will take on the winner of the LSU and Rutgers matchup on Tuesday. Carolina already squared off with women's basketball powerhouse Tennessee once this year. UNC thumped the Volunteers 70-57 back in December. The Heels were led by Erlana Larkins, surprise, surprise, who finished with 17 points and 12 rebounds. Still, Carolina was unable to hold superstar Candace Parker in check. Parker netted 27 points and grabbed 10 rebounds of her own. Carolina is looking to stay in Cleveland longer than the team stayed in Boston for last year's Final Four, which ended with a disappointing loss to eventual national champion Maryland. I bet you didn't know they could get down like this, but that spirit was quickly broken as Ivory Latta twisted her ankle here and just wasn't the same after. Latta couldn't find her shots and the Terps took full advantage. The only team to defeat Carolina in the 2006 regular season did it again when it mattered most, judging by the looks on their faces and their post-game comments. This is the feeling the Heels do not want to experience again.
I let my teammates down, you know, but like Coach said, we just got to look for next year, and, you know, me and Larkins will be back, and we're going to go at it again.
And here they are. The awards keep on rolling in for Carolina Hoopsters. Today, Ivory Latta was named to the Associated Press All-America team. That's the second year in a row for her. Over to the men's side, Tyler Hansbrough is one of 5 players in the country to earn consensus first-team All-America honors. He received first-team honors from the NABC, USBWA, and Sporting News. Hansbrough was named to the Associated Press All-America second team on Tuesday. You know, there's more than basketball on this campus. The softball Tar Heels are ranked 23rd and are on a 25-game winning streak. Today's opponent, Gardner Webb. Amber Johnson at the mound strikes out this Bulldog to start off the inning. Then Cassie Palmer pops this fly to left field but is out. Then in the third, the Heels rally on D in the outfield all the way to Palmer at second and Jennifer Jacobs at first, but can't get the runner out. We're scoreless through 3. The Heels finally broke through in the fourth on an RBI single from Jennifer Jacobs. That was enough for the 1-0 win, running the streak to 26 straight. Good news for college soccer fans. The NCAA announced on Tuesday that the 2008 Women's College Cup will be played at the SAS Soccer Complex in Cary, where the Heels won their 18th national championship this year. The Men's College Cup will return to Cary in 2009. And ladies, just an update on Coach Frank Comfort. He was named the ACC Women's Swim and Dive Coach of the Year, so congratulations to him.
Good news keeps on rolling in.
Yes, it does.
Thanks, Deshawn.
Thanks, Deshawn.
Well, if you haven't heard the news already, North Carolina was the 6th most visited state in the country last year.
Hey, it's easy to see why. We have mountains, beaches, basketball, and plenty if you're looking for a thrill-seeking fix. More on that when we return.
Okay, guys, time for takeoff. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off! Wow! Whoa, look at that! Is that Jupiter?
Hey kids, it's time to go to the planetarium.
Moorhead Planetarium, where dreams become reality.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
Well, with spring finally here, it's time to get out in the sun and enjoy the natural beauty of the Tar Heel State.
And did you know that you can experience a once-in-a-lifetime thrill not that far from UNC? Well, reporter Mark Alexic starts us off with a splash in Charlotte.
I moved here to train, and
I'm targeting the U.S. team, but, we'll see how it goes.
Joel McCune came to Charlotte to train for the Olympics in kayak.
My parents were both paddlers, so I didn't have much choice in the matter. I was kind of raised in a boat.
Whether you're raised in a boat or if a conveyor belt raises your boat, the Whitewater Center has caught community attention.
Some of the neighbors are like, I can't believe this is in our backyard. I get here at work every day before they turn the water on, and it's just peaceful, and you can't have a better place to work.
Once the water tumbles out of the pumps, filtration begins.
Our filtration system is a UV filtration system, so we're not adding any kind of chemicals to clean the water. And it cleans out things like algae and bacteria and any kind of viruses in the water and keeps the water clean. As the water is pumping through the filtration system, it'll treat it. You'll see 4 blue pods, our primary filtration piece, and then it goes through the backside. There's a silver tube and a connector that says UV on it, and that's where we have 18 lamps that kick out, I believe, around 5,000 watts to basically fry stuff.
The filters fry germs, letting kayakers hone their water skills in the competition channel.
You don't have to be an Olympic kayaker to brave the Class 4 slalom rapids behind me, but with a few river guides and maybe a wetsuit, you can at least begin to look like one.
The center welcomes rafters and kayakers of all skill levels, but McCune says competitive rafting requires a little more than just a day trip.
I got lucky. I'd been paddling all my life, so I already knew how to get down the river. It was more now of learning the nuances of how to race down the river, which is a whole new ball game.
And like any game, every player must endure the road or river to success. In Charlotte, I'm Mark Oleksic, Carolina Week.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you don't have to be an Olympic contender to go to that place, because that looks wonderful. I definitely want to check it out.
Definitely am going to head there. Great. Moving from the water to the sky. It is said that skydivers are the only people who really know why the birds sing, and a few Tar Heels are chirping right along.
Reporter Jen Carpenter headed to Lewisburg to meet with current and former members of UNC's skydiving club.
And flare. Stand up, buddy. Stand up. Good job. Give me a big wave.
Because it's fun. It's absolutely the funnest thing to do ever.
After the first jump, I was pretty much hooked.
There aren't any words to truly explain what it feels like to fly.
It's unlike, I can't explain it. It's unlike anything. It's flying, basically.
Run, I'm going to cut you, let you go.
It's very communal society, I guess. Everybody helps each other out, and everybody's really accepting of everyone else. It's pretty cool.
It's a confidence booster big time, because when you get out of that airplane and you know that you're flying yourself and you're saving your own life by pulling that parachute out and you're flying yourself to the ground, there's no other feeling like it in the world.
The absolute freedom of flying. There's no worry about bills. There's no worry about problems in your life. It is you in that moment, and just excitement and joy.
Everything else just goes away. You're not worried about groceries or work, or it's just free. You get this sense of freedom that you don't get to feel anywhere else. So.
All right, hands all the way up. Let the canopy fly. Feet and knees together, please.
And when something is challenging for me, I look back and say, you know what? I went through that door. If I can do that, I can do this.
1,000 feet. Can you believe that is how far they're jumping right now?
I can't believe it. And they look really happy, but I'll tell you, you'd never catch me up there.
I'm
sorry.
I don't know. I
Not
think I
happening.
could do it. Once
Not
that
happening.
storm clears, I think maybe we should all go skydiving.
Oh,
So when is that going to happen?
I think we all should go this weekend. It looks like the weather's going to be favorable for Saturday if everybody's okay with that.
Okay.
I'll watch
Yeah.
from the ground.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I think that's what I'll do. Has anybody else done anything risky like that? Anything
Not
equivalent?
quite.
No, I usually like to be the looker on.
Yeah, I was once on a motorcycle on a New York freeway, but but it was still close to the ground.
It's still pretty far off to
That's
skydiving.
better. Yeah, that's good.
All right, Deshawn. So next NCAA game for women is
The
happening
women
when?
will face off with Tennessee again on Sunday at 9, and that game is on ESPN, so check that out.
Excellent.
We're watching for that. Thanks, Deshawn. That does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thanks so much for watching. Good night.